At this moment, Foreign Minister Motegi's press conference will start. Over to you, Mr. Minister.
I hit the wall just now. I'm not a diplomat, and I'm not injured. Well, just a while ago, I had a discussion with Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar, and I will put out a paper later on, and that discussion was over the phone, and I once again unequivocally stated Japan's position, which is in my statement issued on the 1st of March. I expressed Japan's and explained the exchange of views with countries, those in the countries surrounding in the region, and expressed Japan's serious concerns over the continued exchange of attacks and deterioration of situations in the region, and expressed Japan's strong desire for early de-escalation. In addition, I requested that safety be secured for Japanese nationals and that support be given for their departure, and the minister said he was committed to cooperate in full. Now, to assist the departure of Japanese nationals in the Middle East, we plan to carry out transportation of Japanese nationals in Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and in UAE sequentially starting tomorrow at the earliest. We will first transport them by land to neighboring countries where airports are open, and then fly them back to Tokyo by chartered civilian aircrafts. So the plan is for us to extend support. To be prepared for unexpected circumstances, such as civilian chartered planes not able to fly, just to be sure, we are preparing for Self-Defense Forces aircraft transportation of Japanese nationals, and this is just in case. Today, I requested the Minister of Defense to make preparations. The situation remains very fluid. We'll continue to take every possible steps to ensure protection of Japanese nationals, paying heed to the situation on the ground and to the needs of Japanese nationals. Thank you.
Anyone with questions, please raise your hand. And once called upon, please approach the nearest microphone, state your name and affiliation before asking questions. Kyodo Tsushin. Onda of Kyodo Tsushin, thank you. Earlier, you made a mention about, I have a question regarding evacuation of Japanese nationals. What is the number of Japanese nationals to be evacuated and the timeline? And it was revealed that there are 2 Japanese nationals detained by Iranian authorities. How are you going to achieve early resolution of that? At this moment, the Japanese government and the local embassy are working to understand the number of Japanese nationals who wish to be evacuated and the situation they're in. They may have children, or they may be aged, or they could be pregnant. So we are trying to understand the specific situation of these Japanese nationals. Upon understanding that, overland transport of Japanese nationals to Riyadh and Muscat will begin as early as tomorrow. At this moment, it's very difficult to convey the outlook going forward, but based on the need of the Japanese nationals and the local situation, we would like to take every measure to provide support to them for their evacuation. And as to the 2 Japanese nationals detained by Iranian authorities, we are making a strong request for their early release. And we will take every possible measure to secure their safety. On the 2nd of March, I had an opportunity to meet with Iranian ambassador in Japan. We made a strong request personally to him for that. The Japanese nationals and their families and related parties, we will stay in touch and take every possible measure to ensure their safety.
Next question. Mr. Sushiro, Indonesia. Tribune News. It has been reported that the President of Indonesia will visit Japan. What is the current status of preparation in Japan for a planned visit?
With respect to what you asked, there's nothing yet that has been determined at this moment. At any rate, Indonesia is Japan's comprehensive and strategic partner with whom we are strengthening our cooperation with them in security, economy, personnel exchanges, and also collaborating on the international arena. So we hope to continue close cooperation, including a high level of cooperation with the country.
Next question, please. Mr. Hamamoto, IWJ. I'm Hamamoto, IWJ. Thank you very much. On the situation in Iran, the war with Iran, the prolonged war could trouble Japan and East Asian countries which depend on oil and gas from the Middle East. Japan, Korea, and Taiwan could work together to push the United States to avoid oil crisis and to end the war as quickly as possible. If the United States does not heed to such requests, perhaps the choice will be to start a negotiation with Russia to start importing oil and gas from Russia. In any case, if we were to face oil crisis, transportation and logistics will be halted, and the Japanese national economy will be halted. And in order to avoid a threatening situation, it might be necessary for Japan to drastically change the diplomatic approach. Peace and stability in the Middle East is of critical importance for those who live in the region. At the same time, from the perspective of energy security for Japan, this is a very critical issue. Therefore, we would very much like to work closely with the international community to de-escalate as soon as possible, and we will take all necessary diplomatic efforts. On the 28th of February, as you know, since the situation erupted, even through the weekends, we have had meetings. G7, Foreign Ministerial was the first meeting, and even though the Diet is in session every day, we have been in communication with relevant countries, and we have been trying to bring a de-escalation of the situation through these diplomatic assets. One possible solution you mentioned, one possible option, that option I don't think is in agreement with what I have in mind.
Next question, please. Would there be any further questions? A voice of Vietnam, Tuan-san, go ahead. My name is Tuan from VOV, Tokyo Bureau Chief. I would like to ask about Iran, but then, excuse me, a different issue. By 2030, you have set a target to invite 60 million tourists and visitors to Japan. But of late, you have come up with the policies to strengthen a visa policy. Would that impact your target? What is your view?
First of all, the regulation on the issuance of visa is not how I would describe what we are working on. At the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the ministry is now looking into possible review of visa fees based on the comprehensive measures for acceptance and coexistence of foreign nationals. The content of the review will be decided after necessary procedures such as public comment. As far as we at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs are concerned, we will ensure that the system and its operation, when taken as a whole, will be optimal by taking into account impact on inbound tourism on one hand and need for most appropriate and rigorous visa examination. Thank you.
Any further questions? If not, we would like to conclude today's press conference. Thank you.